Oh. I, the pure consciousness, or the sense of self-awareness, would manifest the words of truth and would manifest the words of wisdom. I, the pure consciousness, or the self of self-awareness, would manifest the words of truth and would manifest the words of wisdom through this finite mind and through this finite body. Blessings to be on my truth seeker, whether it's a herself or it's a himself. Somebody messaged me in private casually and they said, in the opening of your messages or retreat you always mention herself first. I said, it is what it is. Don't entangle your thoughts in something like gender and stuff. However, if I say herself first, that's how it is. That sometimes you just do things without reason and you don't have to justify yourself for anybody. That's liberation. So karma, the word, as we talked in previous retreats on and off, it's such a huge phenomena. You see, that's the right word. Karma, the word, it is such a huge phenomena. It encompasses a lot. There is no way that you can elaborate on karma and don't leave something out, in one sitting or two sitting. Numerous, the connotation of karma goes way beyond than good or bad. Karma is just karma. There is no good or there is no bad karma. You see, karma means action. Karma means deed. Karma means that which is done. Karma is what holds an individual to the body. But what is individual? Individual does not mean a name, a color, a gender, an identification from the country, and all that. Individual is the one which runs through everybody. That's the individual. That's the only being which there exists. You see what I'm saying? That's the only being which there exists, and that's what we understand as individual. Individuality does not mean you have a separate name. Being individual does not mean you have a separate figure or a different gender or different color or different race or whatnot. All these things are abstract. Um, so Atman, which is the part of Brahman that runs through or dwells in the body. Karma attaches that Atman to the body. If the Atman loses the karma, there is no rebirth now. The person is out of the cycle of a rebirth and the death or bodily demise. That's what we understand in Sanskrit as samsara. However, out of compassion and out of the misery these humans are living in, such a person can volunteer to come back to illuminate and enlighten people and bring um, wisdom in their life. Bhagavad Gita Bhagavad Gita tells you basically that how to uh, not accumulate more karma, because the less karma there is, the more we are closer to the light or enlightenment, what we understand. Nothing would help. Bhagavad Gita stresses upon something. I want you to remember this. Remember, I always tell you, remember the word remember. So Bhagavad Gita basically tells you that if you act out of selfishness, if you act out of monetary gain, if you act out of financial gain, if you act out of lust, if you act out of all the bondages, the very activity that you are acting out of all this shows that your bond with all these things is mighty, is strong. You understand? The very inclination, Bhagavad Gita tells you the very inclination or the very compulsion or the very memory of pleasure. If you are driven or motivated by lust, if you are driven or motivated by addiction, if you are driven or motivated by financial gain and monetary gain, you definitely are going to act out of selfishness. It's a given. Half of the humanity, or more than half of the humanity, a fair amount of humanity, is living like that out of selfishness. Half of the humanity is living like something like this: I just want myself flourish. I don't care about others. I want money. I want authority. I want possession. I want certain bodily pleasures. The That's how more than or a fair amount of humanity is living. All these bands and all these bonds that you have formed to these attachments, the very inclination, the very motivation to form the bonds to these attachments or bondages is the very evidence that now you are going to act out of selfishness, is a given. If you are paying attention or focus what I'm saying to you, you there is no way that you can miss what I am saying or miss the message behind this message. You cannot miss if you are focusing to my words, if you are focusing to what I am saying to you. You understand? That's what Bhagavad Gita tells you. If you want to flourish yourself on the expense of others, if you go and act out of selfishness, you are setting yourself up for misery and constant misery. You understand? You are setting yourself up for misery and constant misery. Constant misery means endless misery, because now you would born and die, you would born and die, you would born and die. The circle, the cycle, excuse me, the cycle of samsara, the rebirth and the bodily demise, the rebirth and the bodily demise. You are setting yourself for the misery. and there is no win for you. You can never win, because now you are in a state of compulsion. Whatever you have in your hands, whether financial, physical, or pleasures, you always want to something more than what you presently have. You see the compulsion in you. Whatever you have in this present moment in time, you always want to have more. This is a state of compulsion which would not lead you to moksha, which is ultimate liberation. Or if you are a religious person, we use a term salvation. Are you following me? If you are a religious person, we use a term salvation. It, the being selfish is the highest deterioration. I mentioned that yesterday. If you remember, I mentioned that yesterday, that nothing is more deteriorating than being selfish in your spiritual growth, you see. And today I'm giving you the wisdom mostly from Gita, or Bhagavad Gita, which is the most and highly liberated book full of wisdom. There is no other book like Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna, who was a prince, and Lord Krishna, who was a sage, essentially an avatar of the Brahman, an avatar of the eternity, um, having conversation, having dialogues between each other. Arjuna listens about the karma. Arjuna is a little perplexed. You know the meanings of perplexed. Arjuna is a little confused after Lord Krishna enlightens him about the karma, and Arjuna is perplexed and confused and proposes maybe not getting involved into the activity would help him not accumulate more karma. Lord Krishna, the very intelligent and the brilliant being, says, do some every action must be performed not in the greed of reward. What I get out of it, what would be the outcome, and what would be the result. If you do that, you would not accumulate more karma, yet involve, understand please, yet involve in the action. I hope you truly understand what I'm saying to you. For me, all this awareness pours on me. You see, for me, all this awareness in when I once I establish myself in a very tight and profound state of samadhi, a meditation, all this just pours on me. But you need to remember, I'm trying to make it very easy for you, that Shri Krishna tells Arjuna that do not attach yourself for the reward, do not attach yourself for the result. Are you following? Do not attach yourself for the reward. Do not attach yourself for the result. Do not look forward for the reward, and do not look forward for the result. It's all about the getting involved in the action. It's all about getting involved in the activity. When you have that awareness in you, you would have an entirely different energy, which you have not experienced yet. I promise you that. You understand what I'm saying to you? As I told you before, and I'm telling you again, that I'm not better than you. However, I am very aware. I use understanding universe or cosmos does not operate who is better on the levels of so-called morality. You understand? Universe does not recognize all this superstition. Universe or cosmos only acknowledges who is more aware and who is less aware, who is more close to the truth and who is less close to the truth. It's simple. So I know what I'm saying. Once this is a brilliant this is brilliant wisdom. This is pure wisdom. The magnitude of this liberation is tremendous if you only grasp what I'm saying to you. If you do not concern yourself to the reward, if you do not concern yourself to the result, if you don't act out of greed, if you do not act out of what I would get in return or in the end, if you do not concern yourself with any of these things that humans have developed in them, then you would have an entirely different energy. Then you would have an entirely different experience that you are not aware of yet. You understand? It's not an assumption. When I talk to you, you need to remember something. When I talk to you, it goes by to whom it is concerned, not for everybody. I know there are beings who are very aware of themselves. I know there are beings who already know what I am saying, but what I'm saying, it goes by to whom it is concerned or to whom it may concern. You see? Um, so these are the brilliant highlights or the points that I wanted to bring in your awareness from Gita or the Gita or Bhagavad Gita. But I am now telling you something here that the one, the consciousness, the chit which runs through every individual is the same. The people who face different lives, different level of understanding, different level or different cultures around them are on different levels of evolution as far as spiritual evolution. I hope it is making sense to you. That's why the circumstances, the culture, the mind frame, the perception is different because they are on different level of evolution. You see, it's the same consciousness, is the same chit, is the same awareness, which is knowing itself on different levels. You understand? People, the creation, the different other creations, or each, everything, the same Brahman, the same consciousness, eternity runs through everything, is the same. But it is knowing itself on different levels. Um, we realize this experience as you are listening to the sound of my voice, and as you are listening and you are witnessing the sight of my body, and you are witnessing the sight behind me. The sun is coming out, the sun is rising. It is very early here in America, and the month of October, all this knowledge is in your mind, and you are listening to the sound of my voice, and you are listening my words intently, and you also, your five senses outbounds are alert, hence you are perceiving this. But if you are thinking this is it, like atheists, you see, atheists can be very intelligent people in different aspects of life. Atheists can make a lot of money, can be very intelligent, can be very intellectual, in different aspects of life. But when it comes down to creation and the mystery or enigma of existence, they become absolutely foolish. This is not a judgment, this is a fact. I can see that way. So they become absolutely foolish. They can function very intelligent and with a lot of intellect in different aspects of life, mostly the aspects which are in this narrow band, the three-dimensional reality, which are in this narrow band, the three-dimensional reality you are experiencing, they skill and excel. You know these words. They skill and excel in mostly in this narrow band, and they act very smart and very intelligent. But when it comes down to the enigma and mystery of creation, they are absolutely foolish. Nobody can be more foolish than an atheist. Understand that, please. So I'm not just labeling, because obviously an atheist would evolve too, you see. But remember something, it's not that this is it. You understand? It's not possible. I see that way every moment, every second, every breath. I see beyond the barriers of physicality when I am in a samadhi or in a profound state of meditation. See means I experience beyond the barriers or beyond the boundary of physicality in profound state of meditation. I'm not telling you fiction, I'm telling you my own experience. You can get there too if you are not there yet. See, I don't make assumptions, so I'm just saying maybe you already are, but if you are not there, you can get there too. Then you would know what I'm saying through your own experience. Consciousness, chit or awareness, knowing itself on different levels of evolution. Please know that. Bhagavad Gita tells you that the same Brahman, the same eternity is running through everything, is the same. It's just knowing itself in different aspects of forms. So, like I mentioned about the experience, the narrow band, the sound of my voice, the experience, three dimensions, and you think this is it, but this is not it. I would give you an example to make you understand even much better, specifically if you are an atheist. You see, example number one is that I'm telling you all this. First of all, example number one is that I'm telling you all this. I've been telling you all this wisdom, and I'm bringing clarity for last half an hour. I don't have a single thought in my mind. You can think it's a miracle or he's a clairvoyant, which I am actually, but we won't go into that. Otherwise, we would just deviate. But also, it takes tremendous amount of effort and clarity to get here. You see. So I would give you an example to make you understand. You think this is it. You see, we go to sleep every night, don't we? Okay, we go to sleep every night and we let go. You see, the letting go is our very fundamental nature. We come to a point that we are so tired that we let go, and as soon as we let go, we go to sleep. It's a fact. I'm not telling you fiction. And then what happens when we go in a more profound state of sleep? The consciousness, first of all, withdraws. Um, Not many people know what I'm saying to you, so you need to pay attention. I'm liberating you. When we go into a deep state of sleep, when we go to sleep, excuse me, first, when we go to sleep, the consciousness or the awareness or chit in Sanskrit, it withdraws from the senses, from the body, and it goes into the mind. When we go in a more profound state of sleep, then consciousness or awareness even withdraws from the mind. You see. So the person says, I slept like a log, I don't remember anything. This is what we understand as a dreamless state of sleeping. This is the fundamental state when consciousness withdraws from everywhere. However, in the dreaming state, now I'm now focusing in the dreaming state, where consciousness have withdrawn to, or to the mind only. A person dreams, hypothetically, a person dreams. Person means just saying the person is enough. A person dreams that the person is being chased by a tiger. You see, tiger is very vicious, and tiger just knows nature. It's a beast. Tiger is dangerous. It does not discriminate, So tiger, a person dreams the person is being chased. A person dreams the person is being chased by a tiger, and the person dreams uh, the tiger is very fast and person is running in. By the time when the person is dreaming, the person is witnessing himself in the dream. Do you know that you witness yourself in the dream? You understand? So everything is interconnected, what I am saying to you. When the consciousness withdraws towards the mind, your body, you see yourself as a spectator in the dream. You know that, right? I hope so. So you witness yourself in the dream. You see, you witness yourself as a third person in the dream. And then what happens is you witness yourself that you are being chased by a tiger, your pulse races, you sweat, and your fists, they cling with each other in the fear, and you are thirsty, and your mouth is dry, and your pulse is rushing. You see, you feel all this, right? And also remember, when you are dreaming all this, you have no awareness it's a dream. Is there a fact or it's not a fact? Are you following even what I'm saying? Are you understanding? When you are in that dreaming state, that you or we or anyone, when the person is being chased by a tiger in the dreaming state, we have no realization it's a dream. You know that? Because all your senses are responding exactly like it would be in waking state. So that moment in time, that moment in time, you have no awareness that you are dreaming. You see, you have no awareness when you are in a dream. Whatever the dream you are having, you have no awareness. You are dreaming, my friend. You understand? You have zero. You see zero round? You have zero awareness. Whatever the dream you are having, you have zero awareness that you are dreaming. That moment in time when you are dreaming, you see. You don't know it's a dream or reality. You are just dreaming. You see, only when you wake up from a dream, only when we wake up from a dream, only when the person wakes up from the dream and the person realizes the person is shivering in fear and and clutches the palms and sweating and the heart rate is running very high, and the person says, thank God it was a dream. You see, thank God it was a dream. And because it's the person wakes up in a higher level of reality. The When the person was dreaming, it is also a reality. You understand? I hope you understand. It's a little difficult to grasp, but I'm sure you would come around. I would give you the blessings. So when the person wakes up and in a higher level of reality, a higher level of consciousness, when and only then the person realizes it was a dream. So it's not that it was a dream When we dream, it is also a level of consciousness. It is also real. And when we wake up in a high level of consciousness, you see. And we consider this is a reality. Now this is also dream. You don't understand that. This is also dream compared to what exists really out there. I know it through my own experience. I am not joking with you. Just like when we were dreaming before and we woke up in this reality, one there would be a time we would wake up in another much higher level of awareness or consciousness than this reality, and then you would say this was a dream, you see. So Toltecs, the brilliant human beings, Toltecs, the sages in southern Mexico, existed some 3,000 years back in southern Mexico, the Toltecs. And they were the observers, they were the seers, they were the brilliant people, you see, Toltecs. The magnitude of their wisdom was unbelievable. I mean, you could not believe that how profoundly they read themselves or how profoundly they looked inwards to find out what they are, just like ancient wisdom in India. The same thing, different territories, that's about it. So they believe that you right now, Toltecs, they believe, and it's not that they believe, it's true actually, that you are dreaming right now. I can guarantee you that. You understand? I can see that way, and I live that way. When I go in a profound state of meditation, I am in that higher level of awareness or consciousness than this, what you are experiencing. So for me, this is a dream. When I arrive over there, it seems like a dream. This is all Bhagavad Gita tells you, you see, about the consciousness or chit, I'm saying. And then I am making an additional point in mentioning the Toltecs in southern Mexico because they deserve to be mentioned, you see. So Toltecs tell you that this is also a dream. You are dreaming right now compared to what exactly exists out there. Bhagavad Gita tells you the same thing, that this is a dream compared to what exists really out there or beyond this. I'm not saying this three-dimensional reality or what we understand of the narrow band of perception is not real. It is real, but it is not ultimate reality. You understand that? That's what I'm saying. The experience is real, but it is not the ultimate. Uh, it is not the ultimate reality. Ultimate reality is something else. Ultimate reality cannot be imagined. Ultimate reality cannot be explained. The only way you can understand ultimate reality is to experience it. And how do you do that? Bhagavad Gita gives you the tool. Do not live a life of bondage. Go beyond the bondage, and then you would get there. Do not live a life of selfishness. Go beyond the selfishness. Look for the common welfare of everything in creation, just not you. Otherwise, you are stuck in samsara, which is the cycle of birth and death, rebirth and bodily demise, you see. Don't forget to meditate every day. I'm doing my job, you see. When it's over for me, of course, then I would move on permanently on a high level of consciousness. but I am leaving the words of wisdom and truth for you. I am telling you, do not forget to make time for yourself. Do not forget to meditate. Meditate every day. Make time for yourself every day. Om.